If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
Home therapies overcoming social anxiety disorder, symptoms, tests, and treatment. Social anxiety disorder, SAD, is a specific type of anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorders people during social interactions, in anticipation of social interactions, or while reflecting on social interactions. SAD appears to have a variety of causes, both environmental and genetic/biological, and affects people with the disorder in a variety of immediate and long-term ways. None. People with SAD exhibit physiological arousal, such as blushing and sweating, when faced with social situations where they fear they will be negatively evaluated. Rippey and Heimberg, 1997. Those with SAD also fear eye contact and avoid eye contact more than healthy controls. Schneier et al., 2011. People with SAD are likely to have more intense and frequent paranoid thoughts than people without SAD. Pisano et al., 2016. Children with SAD seem to have more social difficulty than children with GAD, and as a result are rated to be less likable than children with GAD in laboratory tests. Scharfstein and Beidel, 2015. These are some of the immediate symptoms that people with SAD experience in the face of social situations. While SAD is best diagnosed by a professional clinician, here are 3 ways to preliminarily test oneself for SAD without having to schedule any sort of appointment. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, has also been shown to be effective for treating SAD. Specifically, one study examining the effect of MBSR on participants with SAD found that MBSR not only reduced participants' anxiety symptoms, but also increased their levels of self-compassion and self-esteem. Jeltons et al., 2017. This study only consisted of young adults attending college, but shows the potential of MBSR and other mindfulness-based approaches as treatments for SAD. For people who prefer to learn from books, here are some books about SAD. One is aimed at children, one is aimed at teenagers, and the rest are aimed at anyone suffering with SAD. All of these books, though, should help people with SAD learn more about their disorder and how to deal with it. This book, partially written by Aaron T. Beck, an influential figure in CBT, aims to help people use CBT to overcome their anxiety. The book includes worksheets, exercises, and activities to help you understand your anxiety, so you can start managing it. It is not specific to social anxiety, as it can also be used for GAD, panic disorder, and other anxiety disorders, but the lessons within will still very much benefit people with SAD. It is also worth noting that despite being a workbook, this book is not aimed towards children, and is aimed at anyone struggling with anxiety. Here are 3 separate but similar things: shyness, introversion, and social anxiety. You can have 1, 2, or all 3 of these things simultaneously. A lot of the time people think they're all the same thing, but that's just not true. Extroverts can be shy, introverts can be bold, and a condition like anxiety can strike whatever kind of social animal you are. All day, every day, life is like this: fear, apprehension, avoidance, pain, anxiety about what you said, fear that you said something wrong, worry about others' disapproval, afraid of rejection, of not fitting in, anxious to enter a conversation, afraid you'll have nothing to talk about, hiding what's wrong with you deep inside, putting up a defensive wall to protect your secret. You are not weak. People like us, we're brave. We're the ones who get up and face our worst fears every day. We keep fighting. Since most cases of SAD emerge before adulthood, Stein et al., 2017, and since bullying, more so than other types of childhood trauma, correlates so highly with SAD, Norton and Abbott, 2017, it appears that schools are best positioned to deal with and prevent SAD. This means that teachers, parents, coaches, and other adults who deal with children and adolescents should be well equipped to both prevent bullying, which can help lead to SAD, and deal with children who have already developed SAD. Of course, there are plenty of adults with SAD as well, so society at large should concern itself with SAD and its effects. Using cognitive behavioral therapy, they will establish what is it that is actually making you scared. What do you think people see? For example, Do you think you go red, for example, when you talk? If so, how red? If so, what are your beliefs about how they will react? Often people with social anxiety overestimate how much others notice and have a narrow view of other people's judgment about social mistakes. Be prepared to be put in challenging situations till it doesn't bother you anymore. A psychologist will most likely provide therapy and may recommend a psychiatrist to then navigate meds. One thing to consider is your lifestyle, sleep patterns, exercise, environment, and what you do and don't eat. Very challenging, but worth the time and effort.